Hi, and welcome again to another installment of Jeeps Rock. We're going to be installing on this JL, this brand new JL. We're going to be putting a new Brawlee LED light bar on the back. It's also made from Denrite LED. But we're going to be pretty soon here opening this hatch. And again, we've got the dark side here on my left, but here on the right, this beautiful, nicely cleaned and brand new JL we're going to touch today. And we're going to go ahead and open up the hatch here. And again, I said light bar, and normally put the light bar on the front, but we're going to be putting it right here. So again, just like the JK and the TJ, we now have the JL that also has this little lip right here, this little edge, and that's where it's going to go. So once this is installed, that light is going to shoot out about 15 feet. It's got a remote to it. And also, if you can see here inside, and I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit here in a minute, but the JL does not have your typical roll bar covering over it. It's actually used some plastic here on the side, so it's really not going to be that bad of an install. And again, this is going to tie into your dome light, so whenever the dome light has power, then this is going to light up as well. So you've got a really nice setup. Another thing that we can do also, because of the JL, it also has a 12 volt DC connection right here too. So if we wanted to, we could just bypass the dome light completely if we didn't want to mess with that, and we could just plug it in here, so it'd just be a little portable type of light if we wanted to. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and open up the Brawlee tube here. This is what's going to arrive to you in the mail. They went ahead and put their brand on it, and they also spent a little bit more money on the tube itself. That way, when your product arrives, you don't have to worry about it. The tube might be a little bit damaged, but inside the product should be nice and well packaged. I'm going to go ahead and show you what's inside here. So the first thing you're going to see is an installation kit, and what they've done is they've packaged each of the sections for you. That way you can see it's got like alcohol pads, window clips, and a wire cover. And then right here is the light bar. And so as you can see, I took that light bar out, no damage to it whatsoever. It's even packaged yet inside the light bar too. So the light bar is going to go up here on the hatch. And as you can see, since it's at the highest point of the Jeep, it's going to shoot out about 15 feet for you, which is going to be a really nice light. Also has a remote control to it as well. And I'll get that out. It also comes with another kit that he has, and again in the bag, as this one says, the 12 volt power cord installation kit. And this is where you're going to use those clips to tie into the dome light. And then way at the bottom, way at the bottom is going to be the remote. So the remote comes with this as well, and this gives you the option for different brightnesses, different modes. You can do some flash, some strobes, but whatever setting you have on your remote is what it's going to retain. So I would recommend, there's 3 preset settings of 25, 50%, and 100%. I usually put about 25% when I'm just on my daily driver, because whatever your dome light has power, this is going to be on, and you don't want to have that overpowering at night. But it's really nice because when the dome light starts to dim down, so does it. So anything the dome light's doing, it will do the same, just because it's getting the power from the dome light. Or you can also do your 12 volt here on the side of JL here. So it's really nice. And you've also got an option, and I'll go ahead and open it up too. If you look right here, there's also one that says light. So if you're playing around with your remote control and you see all the different modes, if you need to, you can hit the word light and it'll go straight just to the light and remove all the modes and everything. So that way you don't have to go through, because there's I think over 10 or 15 modes on here. And again, you can also do 25, and you can even go a little bit dimmer than that by doing the brightness control here. And again, you just have your on off switch too. So it's a really nice remote, works really well. And we're going to go ahead and get that installed. So now we've shown you the contents of what comes with the Brawlee installation kit. We're going to go ahead, and this ledge right here, even though this is a brand new JL, we're going to go ahead and clean this lip right here. And it comes with alcohol swabs already included with the kit, so you don't have to, there's nothing that you have to run out and get for the install. Just some very basic tools. But what you're going to do is just take that, swab and just go right across here and just clean it up real quick. And then depending on your install, you may be deciding to go through and you're going to use these clips that come with it and you're going to stick them to the actual window. But on this particular install and with the JL, which is new, is they have this track right here. It's just a plastic covering, and what we're going to do is we're going to run that wire straight through here, and then the only wire that's really going to be exposed is just going to be right here. So it's going to be a really nice clean install. And all you're going to do is, I would recommend, if you don't have one, just get a pry tool, and it's plastic. So plastic on plastic is going to help versus getting like just a screwdriver, because if you miss, you're going to scratch up all of your components here. So again, you're just going to take this and you're going to put underneath here and just twist that underneath until this little track pops off, and you're going to run the wire that is right here on the light bar. And the light bar just has these 3M adhesive automotive stick tape right here. And if you want to, while you're on this install and getting ready for the install, you can either take these and leave them as is, or some people have actually taken like Gorilla tape or some other kind of tape that even made it a little bit more adhesive. That's up to you. And then when you're done with the full install, since I have this bar here, there's just this protective covering you're going to take off too as well. This is going to give you a little bit more brightness, but also it's just a protection on there for the packaging. So we'll go ahead and take this swab one more time. So since it was dry, we'll go ahead and clean it one more time. That way you just have a really good adhesion to it. And on this install, and the bar that we received is going to be here on the right side, so you want to make sure that this is going to be on the driver's side. So you're going to go through here, down, and what we're going to do is go through on this rubber portion right here, tuck it underneath, and then come in. And so if people are like, well, once you have this on a hard top and you have a wire, what do you do? So what you're going to do is, once this is installed, you have a quick disconnect right here, and this is the only part you're going to disconnect so that you can take off your hard top. Alright, so as we had mentioned before, there's this track right here, and this is actually where the windshield wiper for the back is versus the JK, which is up here. So what Jeep did is I went ahead and made this channel right here. It's just a plastic channel, and it's been adhesive to the mirror, and then also there's just a plastic cover. So what you're going to do is just going to take your pry tool, and again I recommend the pry tool versus something that's going to be metal like a screwdriver. You're just going to come around here and follow it, and then you're just going to tilt that underneath and then pull towards the driver's side until you can pull it off of the track. And you just lift this underneath, pry, and then there's going to be another clip here in the center. You're going to pinch that and pull and push that towards the inside, and it should just come right off. And what that's just going to be a covering, and it's just going to be just enough room for this to fit through there. So again, this is just an option that you can do. The kit comes with these 3M clips that you're supposed to put here on the side, but removing that and just taking a little bit more time, it's going to pinch a little bit on the wire, but the wire is all insulated as well. And you're just going to run that underneath, put the clip back on, and then you're going to run that wire from right here and then underneath and into the cab, and we're just about done for the exterior part of this installation. Then we'll move inside to the cab. Okay, so what we've done now, we've got our light bar here. We went ahead and removed all of those adhesive tapes that were on there, just the backing. And this is not the full length of this track here, so you want to put this in the center of it. And again, you're putting this on the ledge itself. You're just going to push right next to that ledge. That's why we took the time to clean it. That's why it's supplied with the kit. Just want to make sure it's nice and tight. And while you're here, go ahead and just remove that covering. And then you're just going to go through here on this little bit of track. I'm going to give it a little bit of slack. You don't want to pull that out. As you see, it's just going to go through here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take those sticky tabs that come with it. They're little clips. You just put the 3M on there, and then you put the wire, and then when you get ready to do it, you just close it down. So it's going to come through here, and we'll put it around, and then it will come down through here and underneath here, so that way when the hatch is closed, you still have that nice, somewhat airtight to the cab. That way you don't get any dust or anything, but it lifts right underneath there and it'll go nicely inside the cab. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we're now going to go ahead and move into the interior. Again, this is the last piece that was from the exterior. It's now into the interior, and again, we want to recommend those removable tools. And the first thing we're going to do is there's this little compartment right here. You're just going to take your tool and you're just going to pop that off. And then there's one more that's right here underneath the seat belt. And you're just going to come over here on the corner and just kind of twist it just a little bit, and you should hear it pop. So we got one released. Just kind of work it around a little bit more. And what that's doing is it's releasing this whole entire little piece right here, because we've got to get access to the dome light connection. And you can see right here, we've got a little connection right here that we've got to get on the other side too. It's just a little pry. JK had almost like a covering that goes all over the roll bar. The new JL has just these plastic inserts, and all we're going to do now is take a T20 torque and take these off. And we're going to do that all the way until we get to the dome light, and that'll give us access to the wire that we're going to tap into. And then once we have that, as you can see, also I'm referring to are these instructions that are supplied by Brawlee. And so if you have any questions or you're just not familiar with what the Jeep looks like, but as you can see, it's like step by step, really good pictures, real easy to follow, and we're just going through the steps right now. We're just looking right now here at photo 10, and we're going to remove that center roll bar cover, and then it just tells you to firmly toward the interior of the Jeep. So really simple, easy to do install, and you're looking at about a 60-minute install for this. The only parts that you need for this removal is just the T20. You have the option of something like this, which is already marked for you, T20. It's a Craftsman. It doesn't have to be something fancy, or you can get the ones that have all the different bits all together. And what we're doing is we removed all of the screws, and now we're getting ready to remove this cover. Okay, so what we've done now is, again, these instructions will show you exactly what to remove, which of the T20s you need to remove, but just real quickly, there's 7 right here, and you just pull straight down. And again, this is just a helpful hint for you, is always remove this clip, because if not, you're working with this right here and it's so tight. So take the time, remove this clip, pull it down, and now you have access to the wires that you're going to be tapping into. And if you look here, what we've done is we've run the wire, and the red is going to be tapped into the yellow, black into the black. And to do that, you just use these red clips. Open them up. If you look right here, there's only one way that these wires can go in. And once it's in there, there's no more way for them to slide out. And the other side is your factory wire, which allows you to slide back and forth. And then what you're going to do is I recommend just taking some pliers. You put it through here and you just clamp down evenly, slowly, and firmly until it's nice. And what's going to do is it's not splicing into it, it's just tapping into it so it doesn't cut the wire, but it joins the two wires together. And again, you're going to put the, this is going to be the red one, and then this is going to be yellow, and then black to black. And then after we've taken off this covering, come over here on this side, you just pull this back a little bit, you feed it through. And the way that these work is you have some very large clips to them. Just want to make sure that that wire is not in place of those so it doesn't impede it from being able to clip back on. Then you have two more here, and we've pulled all this as far as we can. You want to make sure that when you run this wire that does not interfere with the seat belt, make sure it still works. And if you come over here, this is where your disconnect is. So when you're ready to take off your hard top, you just pull this off right here, lift your top, and that's it. So that's the only thing you have to remember to do before you take your hard top off for this light bar to work. And everything else has been nicely, and it's underneath this plastic through here, through the roll bar, and we're gonna clean this up and show you the full install when we're done. As you can see behind me and above me right here, we now have the Brawlee LED light bar installed. And I cannot say that this is probably the slickest, cleanest install from Brawlee so far. And it just shows because the JLs are so easy to work on and they've done it right. So again, we've tied into the dome light. We've come around this roll bar. If you come through here, you'll see that the only thing left is right here, and this is where you're going to disconnect so that you can take off your hard top, just right here. And with this remote, we have all these different modes. Right now I'm only at 25%, I'll do 50%, and there is 100%. And this is still in complete daylight right now, so you can see how bright it is already. Just imagine in the dark. And again, as I mentioned before, you got all these different modes, and I'll just play with one real quick. Kind of a strobe look right there, and then as soon as you're ready, you're like, okay, that's enough, just hit the light and it stops. And what I would recommend is this also comes with, included in the pack, is a cigarette lighter adapter. And again, JL has it right here, so our disconnect's right here. And right now we're just running off the dome light, but if we're ready to go camping, and we may want to run this for an hour, 2 hours. So all you're going to do is unplug this right there. You're going to take this one and plug this here on this side. And again, there's only one way it would connect anyway. Open your 12-volt DC, and there you go. So now you can leave this running for as long as you want. Just be cautious of your battery, but this is LED. It's not going to use up hardly any electricity, or I'm sorry, any of your battery power at all. And that's all there is to it. So when you're done, you just, again, unplug this, and it is now off. And all you have to do now is, because I switched off the different power system, you just start your vehicle up and it'll reset. And then with JL, they also have their little storage compartment, so why not put those two right here so they never get lost.